Alright, so I've been on the dive for a little bit here. I don't know after the first part of my clip. My GoPro wasn't working or something, but I've already got a few rock bass here. I'm starting to, it just started working for some reason. Who knows? It's a GoPro. No one really knows. Visibility is really weird today because, there's a weird tide. It's less than a foot interchange between high and low. So I've never seen that before, dove that type of tide before. Usually I'm used to that, current in this area just ripping through. But today it was pretty calm. Didn't need a lot of weight. The current wasn't moving that much. Didn't need to sink myself to the bottom. Look at that clam head. There's lots of clams down there. One of these days I should try to clam in this bay. Like I said in one of my other videos, I've never got clams in this bay. I get clams in Tillamook, Wallport, but never this bay. Still checking all the holes, looking for my ling cod that I like. Best tasting fish out here besides halibut. You can check everywhere, looking for lings. They just kind of have the mind of their own, do what they want to do. So they can be out in the stand, like I've said before, on top of a rock or in one of those holes. It's just a matter of looking for them. Like a perfect spot for a ling cod, but nothing. Like I said, I looked everywhere today. Some good lings. Just what they weren't having it. better at hide and seek than me today. Cabin zone there. They're closed for the season. Quota's already been met in Oregon, so. Let's see, well, I don't even think he was big enough. I've had a few people ask, what are you doing when you look up like that? Normally what I'm doing in that situation is I'm clearing my mask. So rockfish. Over the years of doing this, I'm not 100% sure I like this really. I mean, this light I have is bright. It'll hurt your eyes if you look into it, but it's great for looking into the holes sometimes, but sometimes I think it's just too bright. Especially for spearfishing, because it just doesn't really light up anything. You guys have any suggestions on better lights? Or the lumens you run when you're spearfishing, let me know. And like I said, even though it wasn't the best day spearfishing, any day I can get down underneath the water, I don't care what I'm doing, it's still better than sitting at home, watching TV, doing any of the household chores just to get it done, just to say you did something for the weekend. Get out and do something. Enjoy your days. Definitely need more divers in the sport. We don't have a lot. Those little brown things on that rock right there are all rock scallops. Most people think when they look for scallops are the ones that kind of, you see on TV that float around, jet around the bottom. But in Oregon we do have those further out. But in the bays, close to the beaches, we have what they call rock scallops. They just attach themselves to rocks. They never move. They just sit there and grow. And where I'm diving today, not very big, so I don't take any. I do have a rock scallop spot. It's pretty big scallops. I'm kind of picky when it comes to those. see, I'm not really moving way too much for, call it spearfishing or whatever, but it's almost like hunting. You have to be really patient and calm yourself down. For some reason, I was moving a lot today. Not sure why. I know my mask wasn't sealing right. Maybe it was just, kind of messing with my flow of everything. I was moving my head way too much. I should go over those rocks when you're spearfishing and just take your time and just kind of creep over those rocks. A lot of times they'll just be sitting there on top and waiting for their an ambush predator. If you're moving slow, you might be able to catch one out in the open. I am moving way too much today in this video, so don't do that. Checking my pressure gauge because I know I'm running out of time here. Maybe that's why I was moving so fast. Maybe I just running out of time. Didn't have what I was looking for. Take a nice little rock bass here. Leave a comment down below. How do you guys cook these? I've cooked the rock bass a couple different ways. Having it all on the grill is good. Cooking the fish whole has been good. But I do find the rock bass a little bit more mushy than other rock bass or other rock bass, other fish. Let me know what you guys think on it. Have you cooked these rock bass and are they mushy to you compared to other rockfish? That's one thing about diving jetties. You really can't get lost. I've done it. When I first started diving, I had a compass that was malfunctioning. Would point to wherever it wanted to point. So, my son used to get mad at me because he'd always tell me, "You just don't know how to navigate underwater." I was starting to believe him there for a while because normally I'm pretty good with direction, but I was all over the place. I ended up one day halfway across this bay. It's not a small bay. And I thought I was going back to the rock. I was way off. And come to find out, I had my pressure gauge fail. On one of my other videos, you'll see the gauge itself just break when I was about 60 feet. And when I brought it in there, they couldn't fix it, so we put a new console set on there. And I was using my son's equipment. And I haven't had that problem since I switched out the compasses. And sure enough, when I brought that up, it was a bad compass. Taking off my fins here, getting out of the water. This is why a lot of people don't dive the jetties, shore dive, because getting over these rocks and getting in and out of here is difficult to do. And I'm not a small person. I'm a big boy. So when I get up to the top here, I run that 3mm wetsuit because when I run the 7mm wetsuit, I need 50 pounds of lead to make me sink. When I run the 3, I can get away with 30 pounds of lead. So I'd rather be a little bit more cold, so I can walk over these rocks and get in and out of the water a little bit easier than having to deal with 50 pounds of lead on top of all my equipment. But one of these days I'll own a boat and won't have to deal with this anymore, but I'm not that rich, so. It's the worst part about diving right here. When you realize that gravity has returned, you stand up with all that weight on your back. You've been neutrally buoyant the whole time underwater. Just crawling over the riprap there and back to my rig. Let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, comment,